I just want to look at the CC drop here, Berlin Township, Woodland Beach, Detroit Beach area. This is lining up with the report of rotation.
After the Weberville tornado, the system moved south-southeast toward the Metro Detroit area, producing winds upwards of 80 miles per hour in spots, but also 5 more tornadoes. In typical QLCS system fashion, these tornadoes were very brief and they also were very weak, EF0, EF1, with the highest one being in South Rockwood, an EF1 with winds of upwards of 110 miles per hour. With 4 of our 5 chasers out of position on the west side of the state, I was the only one left to intercept on the east side of the state. This is going to be intense, guys.
Are you going to intercept?
I'm going to intercept right here. There's wires behind me. Whoa!
Wow, what a great shot. I saw a comment that asked, what about Oakland? Oakland County is just about finished.
Holy smokes, we're getting 60.
Are those tornado sirens? What's whistling?
Wires and the tension wires. We're getting 60 to 70 here. On your nose in the wind. We have some type of debris flying through here. On your nose in the wind. On your nose in the wind. For those familiar, that is York Township Hall on Stony Creek Road. You can see it on radar here, listed as York Charter Township. I was right about at the T in Township on the radar map. At the time, I didn't catch it, but going back and looking at the radar data, there was an interesting area of velocity that formed right on top of me and moved off to the east-southeast. I returned on Saturday morning with my drone to survey the area, and to my surprise, there's actually a very localized swath of damage. Looking at the damage pattern in the corn, it was all laid to the east and a little bit north, so an east-northeast pattern and a very localized swath. Looking at the woods, you can clearly see a path laid down flat facing east-southeast. The house nearby where the damage occurred also had moderate tree damage in their yard. The homeowner claimed there was 4 vehicles that were destroyed, however I could not confirm that. Even with weak rotation on radar, the damage pattern was consistent with a divergent pattern, which would indicate this damage was caused by a localized downburst and not a tornado.
Oh, wow. Okay, Belleville, right now, there's going to be a spin-up tornado right there close to Sumter Township. All right, here we go again, you guys. We're getting more spin-up potential tornadoes. So, wow, there's actually quite a few nooks along this line. Ryan, I don't know if you're looking at the airport radar, but if you're not, boy, you need to be. So this first area of circulation here is just southeast of Wayne, and this next one is just to the south of Van Buren Township, Belleville area. I just want to look at the CC drop here, Berlin Township, Woodland Beach, Detroit Beach area. This is lining up with the report of rotation. So if you're in this Esterel Beach, Berlin Township, Woodland Beach area, there is some rotation with a CC drop in there. I just want to make note of that. So if you're in that area, please, 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 please be underground or in your safe place in your house. Yeah, our main focus right here is going to be down towards this area, Gibraltar, Grosse Isle. It's going to be heading over the lake here soon or over into Ontario.
The first tornado we're going to look at is the Newport tornado. This tornado was on the ground between 10:38 and 10:43, so a 5-minute on the ground time, with winds upwards of 100 miles per hour, equivalent to an EF1 tornado. There were multiple reports coming in that there may have been 1 fatality and multiple injuries, but fortunately, there were no injuries and no fatalities reported in this tornado. However, there were garages destroyed and trailers completely destroyed, flipped, and roofs missing. Here are some pictures that we took of the tornado's damage. The next tornado we're going to look at is South Rockwood. This tornado was on the ground between 10:39 and 10:45, so 6 minutes. It was rated EF1 with 105 mile/hour winds, on the ground for 5.5 miles, and was also 2 football fields wide at 200 yards. This tornado was the strongest of the ones that occurred in southeast Michigan. With peak winds of 105 miles per hour, this tornado lifted roofs off homes, industrial buildings, and also down many large, healthy trees. The next will be the Canton tornado, on the ground for 2 to 3 minutes, rated EF0 with winds approaching 80 miles per hour. On the ground for 1.7 miles and also 2 football fields wide. Its damage highlight was destroying 2 pavilions at Heritage Park. Because the damage was cleaned up so quickly, we were unable to gather any photos from this tornado, so if you do have photos of the Canton tornado, feel free to share them with us. The Belleville tornado was on the ground for 3 minutes, rated EF1 with winds approaching 90 miles per hour. Also 2 football fields wide at 200 yards with a 3-mile path length. Most of the damage that occurred was to trees. There were a few instances of some shingles missing off houses and also some roofing damage to some trailers in a local trailer park. And then finally, the Gibraltar tornado was on the ground for 5 minutes, rated EF1 with winds approaching 90 miles per hour. It was on the ground almost 5 miles with a 300-yard width, almost 3 football fields wide. We were also unable to survey this area just because the damage was mainly picked up, but also didn't want to encroach on people's privacy as there was a lot of cleanup ongoing when we arrived. In total, we had 7 tornadoes with hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of wind damage pictures and reports coming in across the region. I want to say thank you to those of you who made it through all 8 minutes of this video. We also have part 1 and part 2 of this recap analysis out on our Facebook page and also our YouTube page. It spans about 25 minutes in total, so it's quite lengthy, but it's also very in-depth and very informative of what we saw and also what the radar shows and all the damage pictures and all that kind of good stuff. So if you guys haven't already, go check part 1 and part 2 out. I'll go ahead and link it in the description. And again, I just want to say thank you to those of you who made it through all 8 minutes of this video. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear it. If we get enough positive feedback, we'll keep doing these recap videos. Once again, guys, just thank you for watching, and with that, I'll go ahead and say peace out, stay safe, and we'll always have you protected here from beginning to end at Michigan Storm Chasers.